Amber Lee from Sacramento, California. My question for you is, when you have a character that pretty much from the moment that they were born, it just went wrong, from the family to the directions that they were thinking they were going to have, and that led into a few different conflicts, where you were saying you need to kind of pick one conflict and run with that. How do you handle a character when there's these really complex incidences that are leading them to one pivotal moment without drowning the audience out and wondering when are they going to get to the point? And you don't really know where the ending is going. How can you figure that all out and pull it together?
I'm trying to sort out your question, and I guess what you're asking me is, what do you do if the character that's in your imagination their life is constantly full of struggle, and everything they try fails. What they think they want, they discover they don't really want, or they get what they want and realize they don't want it, whatever the hell, and that nothing works the way they expect. For example, the life of Barack Obama. His father left him as a little boy. In great part, he was raised by his grandparents. He was taken by his mother and from Hawaii to Indonesia. He was raised here and there, one thing or another. At one point in his high school life, he decided that he didn't really know what the hell he wanted to do and was ready to drop out, but he hung on and was a very good student, got himself scholarships, and then instead of going, he went into a law firm, and then decided to quit that and became a community organizer, and then one thing led to another, and he became a senator, and then he became, I mean, how unexpected is this? He became president of the United States, only to walk into the worst financial disaster ever, only to be suddenly in charge of 2 wars, and then BP destroys the Gulf of Mexico, and on it goes. I mean, nothing goes right in his world either. And so someday in the future, somebody's going to want to make a movie about the life of Barack Obama, which is full of turmoil from the day he was born. So what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to pull back from this character's life and ask the big question, what is the meaning of this character's life? What all of these other twists and turns are somehow a surface and aspects of what this character is really deeply, even unconsciously struggling to do with their life. Oliver Stone made a film called W. And prior to that, he made a film called Nixon. And he took 2 men whose lives are in many ways what you're describing. Full of chaos from the day they were born. And controversial as hell. And one of them was, before he was impeached, he had to flee his office. The other is thought in many places to be the worst president in the history of the United States, and has literally helped destroy America, right? And Oliver Stone has twice then taken these very complex characters, their very chaotic lives, and all the twists and turns of their family and their marriages and their presidencies and on and on, and found a through line. George W. Bush, the through line of that film seemed to be somehow he had to come to terms with his conflict with his father. And he made W a story, a wonderfully told story of a sort of classic Oedipal complex. In Nixon, he found the through line was Nixon's deep envy of the elite of the Northeast who went to Harvard, went to Yale, went to Princeton, and had one of these ideal lives where their rich families just brought them step by step into power, and he was so envy and jealous of those guys that he became paranoid and destroyed his own life over his envy of the Eastern elite. And so the answer to your question is that you're going to have to take this character that you see as a great mass of chaos, but anybody's life can be seen that way. From anybody's life, nothing happening the way they expected, and what they want out of life they're not getting, and on it goes. And you have to find the through line. What is really going on, probably in the unconscious of a complex character like that, that all of this twisting and turning on the surface is just the outer manifestation of that one central conflict deep within the character that's driving them from one end of their life to the other. When you find that, what does this character really want? And in the kind of complex character you're talking about, I'm sure that deep desire will be subconscious. What does this character really want? What's really driving their life? When you can answer that question with one answer, then you can find how all this outer turmoil is actually a manifestations of this one deep struggle.